All right, Temple, I want to talk about your autism and how that affects you. When you were starting your career, what sorts of challenges did you face as an autistic woman back then?
Well, I started my career in the 70s, in the early 70s. Being a woman in a man's industry in Arizona was a much bigger barrier than autism ever was. Much, much bigger barrier. I had to be 3 times better than a guy. I had to make myself really good at what I did. And the first thing I did is I became a very good livestock editor for the Arizona Farmer and Ranchman magazine. And there's a scene in the movie where I get the editor's card. And I realized that if I wrote for that magazine, it would help my career. See, a lot of people don't, there'll be an opportunity to do that and they miss up on that opportunity. But make myself good at what I did. And a lot of people thought I was stupid and wouldn't amount to anything. So I had a huge motivation, prove I wasn't stupid. And the thing I liked in the movie is all the projects are accurate in the movie. And they actually
Hmm.
recreated the dipping vat system that I worked on designing in the mid 70s. And I really liked that part of it. The other thing is I've worked on a lot of big construction projects. I spent about 25 years out on jobs. I would sell a job, do the drawings, then design it, supervise construction. And there are a lot of people that would be in special ed today that were super good welders that could build anything, machinery designers, drafting, lay out entire plants, lay out entire factories. And they were either autistic, dyslexic, or ADHD. I am saying that seriously, about 20% when I look back on it. You see, the other problem you got with autism is it's such a big range. I mean, half the programmers in Silicon Valley that bring us the tech we're talking on right now and those fancy headphones you've got on right there, where do you think that stuff came from? That doesn't come from the social yakety X. It comes
Hmm.
from the brain that thinks social chit chat's boring and would rather design fancy headphones.
Yeah, I think you put in your book, Thinking in Pictures, My Life with Autism, you wrote something about if it weren't for autistic people, we would all still be living in caves.
Well, that's right. And the other thing is I got Thinking in Pictures right here. I'll hold it up for the YouTube people. But the other thing in Thinking in Pictures, I've got copies of my drawings.
Hmm.
And the thing is, what I learned to do a long time ago is to sell my work. My idea of an interview was to lay the drawings out there on the table, pictures of jobs. Just show the work. That's what I did.
Hmm.
Just show the work.
How does your autism affect your life now? In the movie, I noticed that you were dealing with a lot of sensory issues. Are those things still coming up for you now?
My sensory issues are now mild compared to a lot of people's sensory issues, but my number one research priority for autism would be how to deal with some of the very severe sensory issues that make, some noise painful. Just get too much, it makes it painful to live. It would be my top priority to work on some of those things. Now, what's happened to me, thing that I find helps is every morning I get up early. I have breakfast, I sit and read for a while, then I get dressed, and I'm dressed for work now at 7 o'clock in the morning. No slouching around in jammies. Get up every day. Get on a schedule. Do writing in the morning. I do book a lot of conferences in the afternoon lots of times. Since you were in Europe, I did this one in the morning, my time.
Hmm.
I and then I've been like lining up writing projects. I gotta have stuff to do.
Right, yeah.
All my travel's been canceled since March. Suddenly canceled. January canceled. They just canceled our big Denver stock show. Just got canceled. They just canceled a whole pile of a gigantic veterinary meeting, a cattle meeting, gigantic international food show just got canceled, completely canceled. And the other two events got moved to the summer. So I've been home a whole lot.
Hmm.
And I'm working on a new book on visual thinking, and I've got other writing projects I've lined up to do. I'm a big fan of using video conferencing.
Hmm.
I want to, one good thing that's happened is I'm talking to you now in another country. You see, there was less of that before. They'd want me to come to the country, and there was just no way I could. In fact, I was doing 2 or 3 different airports every week, and I think after COVID gets over with, when we get a vaccines, and we're going to have to distribute those vaccines, supply chain management. I've already been thinking about that.
You've been watching Autism Knows No Borders. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Also, we'd love to hear from you, so let us know what you think in the comments section. Click here to watch this interview in its entirety. You can also find us on your favorite podcast app. Tune in each week for engaging conversations of how people across the globe are inspiring change and building community. Thanks for watching. Take care.